Well, hello, my Instacart shoppers and customers. This is Sarah, Instacart Pearls of Wisdom, with a little tale that's not even mine. It's somebody else's. I'm just finishing up my what am I having? I'm having Wicked Joe's French roast, the end of that package, so I'll be opening up something else. I've got the Sumatra going. And then I have another company's French roast going. The fun never ends. Anyway, there's this Channel 5 is the station that we listen to. It's ABC and they have WCVB out of Boston. And they have the Consumer Report. And so a lot of people from Instacart, the customers, were complaining to him because he investigates and so they were complaining about the difference in the prices between going into the store and having Instacart deliver. And they interviewed one woman who was immunocompromised, and she didn't want her name used. But anyway, so so some people still have to use the grocery, shopping service of Instacart, and others just like the convenience and treat it like a treat. So many women have said to me, "I don't know what I'd do without you," and that's a wonderful thing, right? So anyway, they did a little investigation, and so they had 17 items: Barilla pasta, Cheerios, Campbell's tomato soup, to name a few. 17 items, and the producer went to I think they went to the local Stop and Shop to buy the 17 items versus ordering them on Instacart. And the price difference was about 15 to 20% higher through Instacart. Instacart tax on 15 to 20% on each item that they charge a customer ordering on Instacart's platform, plus the fee, and then the tip, which my feelings about tips. And so the shopper is, I mean, excuse me, the customer is paying a high premium. And so Stop and Shop and Shaw's do that 15 to 20% markup. Roach Brothers, which is my favorite place to shop, I talk about it all the time. The carts are ergonomically correct. They feel so good. You don't get that same whatever. They don't clang. They're plastic, but there's something in their flooring and lighting as well that makes the experience of shopping at Roach Brothers that much more pleasant. In addition to that, they don't have, jumbo size, family size. I mean, they do sometimes with the cereals, but they don't have 675 toilet bowl cleaners. Um, this is what we have and this is what you get. So it's a pleasure to shop as a shopper there because it's like there's not tons of choices and they have a lot of the high end sort of things. Same with the meats. They have, specialty meats that you might find at a regular retail. But anyway, I digress. They do not mark up. So what you see in the flyer as a customer wanting Instacart to shop for you is the price you pay. So that's if you're local here in New England and you have the choice of Roach Brothers or Shaw's or Stop and Shop, you want to go with the Roach Brothers because you're going to be paying less. Plus, their sales are fabulous. I know as a customer myself. So that when they were interviewed, Shaw's didn't get back to them about a few questions that they asked, which I found very interesting. They just don't want you to know. She's sounds like they get their training from Instacart. And Stop and Shop, when asked those hard questions about why do you do that to the customer, it's almost like double charging them for the markup and then another markup. They said, well, they can always order Stop and Shop online, which means that you'd order it and then, at least here on Cape Cod, you'd drive in and get it. So I thought it was very, very interesting. They shined the spotlight on Instacart. So we as shoppers, with our lack of support, oh, excuse me, lack of it's now called Instacart Care, as if, right? You could just see them around the boardroom table, each one of them pulling down, six figures, and the first number is a two, talking about like what words can we use that make it seem like we care, right? Instacart Care. Doubt it. So anyway, it was very interesting, and anybody that watched it, and you know how they show it in the 4 o'clock news and the 6 o'clock and the 11 o'clock news, and then over the weekends, and it's interesting, and people might get a little sour with Instacart. And as a lot of us shoppers know, getting trips is just a very curious new thing to do now. I watched something, it's an hour away with the traffic, and I watched it languish there. There was nothing wrong with the order. It was a CVS order, and it was like 12 items with a $6 tip. Not bad. I mean, how long would it take somebody to shop in there? Once you know the layout of CVS, it gets pretty good. And, people want the Flonase, the Pepto-Bismol, and then the laxative, right? Welcome to Cape Cod. Come on down and eat in all the restaurants and get digestive problems. So I just watched it there, and there were no other orders. I did one double batch yesterday. The tip was more than the double batch paid the Instacart pay. So yes, I did it. And one of them was a repeat, and she gave me a nice 5-star when I went on this morning to see. And she was lovely, and she had COVID, and she just has no strength. She's had it 4 months ago, and she's still waiting for the fatigue to leave her, poor dear. And she's an older woman that lives alone. So it was nice, and she was so glad to have me again. She said, "Are you the one that left the card with the carrot on it?" I said, yes, that's me. And she said, "Oh, I'm so glad. I sighed with relief when I saw you." It's always nice to get, the reactions from people. And that's when I love doing Instacart. And I know that probably a lot of you feel the same way when you have somebody that's just grateful for the service that you offer. They don't care really what they're paying, like the woman that I used to work with as a realtor. And, she said, "I don't care how much it costs. It's just worth it to me." But it's very interesting. And in that consumer report, under Stop and Shop, it says view pricing policy. So that's where they probably do the little disclosure about how much more they're going to charge. So it's just very, very interesting, and always something that you can pass along. I mean, just knowing that nice Roche Brothers, Roche Brothers store doesn't tack on a percentage for the platform of Instacart. Well, what a great thing. They're the best store to shop at. So, it's one grade below Whole Foods, but it's that same sort of thing. I don't know. We have smaller stores down here because they want to, excuse me, keep the charm of Cape Cod. So they have to go through the Cape Cod Commission, and they end up like Trader Joe's, like Whole Foods, like BJ's, all these recent additions to the Cape Cod franchise and stores. They allow them, but a lot less retail square footage. So it's just very, very interesting. So when you do shop in these, you can have one, but it's going to be smaller type stores. It's kind of fascinating to see what they have to go through to get there. So there's a lot more behind the scenes. We're not the only ones that are penalized. I actually feel bad for the customers that are paying, that raise in price. There's only one Roche Brothers here. And so, and it's located like right here. So all these people wouldn't be having it, but they would have it here and there. And so they could benefit from it. But yeah, the stuff that you learn when you just scratch the surface a little bit with Instacart and their pricing policies with the stores that they're in cahoots with. So it's interesting, and with the online shopping of both Shaw's, I'm not sure about Roach Brothers, but Shaw's and Stop and Shop, the two big ones here. It's interesting. I don't know if BJ's, which is our box store, has the online and then you pick it up service. I haven't seen anything that looks like it, but I know that the Shaw's and Stop and Shop have been reconfiguring their front with all of the freezers and all of the, the valuable real estate of each store for the online shoppers. And they have 2 or 3 people working there to hustle the groceries out to people. So it's definitely competition for Instacart. And that may be why when you go online as a shopper, you don't see any batches. So it's just all curious. So it just goes back to keep your powder dry in your gun, because you want to have that toggling, and do it. Try it. Get used to it. It's at first it's nerve-wracking, but remember your first Instacart shop, how nerve-wracking and stressful that must have been. So just, give those Grubhubs and DoorDash and Uber Eats a shot and just see how it all works out for you. Getting used to it. I'm still adjusting to DoorDash. To me, it's been the most difficult adjustment. Instacart and Uber Eats are much more user-friendly. And as we know, Uber Eats is the blue ribbon of apps. They have human beings that answer the phone. They have human beings that they will redirect you to if they can't answer your question. Shame on Instacart one more time for, continuing to really punish us, the ambassadors of their service. We're the ones that show up at the house. I dress up when I deliver. I wear pearls, and I wear a little snazzy little like linen blazer. And so, I dress a little bit, I'm not wearing ripped jeans and a t-shirt, right? And so you can wear whatever you want, but I like to do that. And one man, I stopped at this breakfast place to get some pancakes for somebody. He said, "You're not a DoorDash, person. They don't wear pearls." They do. Well, I do. And the part of the whole gig of my Instacart Pearls of Wisdom is that my last name is Pearl. So I'm Sarah Pearl, hence the Pearls of Wisdom. So there's just a little inside part of that. So that's the deal here. So understanding how Instacart doesn't just screw us as shoppers, they screw the customers too. And and I don't mean to use such a crude word, but what word would you use? Overcharge. Okay, they overcharge the customers, and they keep us way down on their list, and they keep all of the people from other countries with the script to help us. Instacart care. Not. This has been Sarah, Pearls of Wisdom. And so I will see you here the next time as we talk about the gig work of being a gig worker or the recipient of our work. Thanks so much for being here. I'll see you the next time. Bye-bye for now.